The Scavenger, the great wargaming giveaway, the Tier 5 hybrid nation tank that if you won 50 battles, you got it in your garage. Every man and his dog and his cat and the cat's budgerigard managed to get one of these, and it's about as popular as the Black Death. But love it or loathe it, it's here. Everybody's got one in their garage, and if you're going to play anything from Tier 4 to Tier 6 anytime soon, the chances are you're going to come across one or more of these, because everybody plays it. But what's it like? Is it any good? Well, let's find out. Hello everybody and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz, and yes, we're going to be looking at the Scavenger today. That annoying little tank that every man and his dog seems to have, which is dominating the battlefields between tiers 4 and 6 currently. I mean look, here's two of them now going out on a tier 5 and 6 game. And this was the great giveaway by Wargaming. Literally everybody managed to get hold of one of these tanks. But what is this actually like? Well, it's a mixed bag, really. But that shouldn't really concern you, because this was a free tank, effectively. So let's have a look at this armor. I mean, the armor's not fantastic. Okay, the front glacis plate and the front of the turret is pretty solid. It's not overly solid, but it's pretty solid. You can't really side scrape in it. It's going to be penned by most things, especially at tier 5 and 6. Tier 4 may struggle a little bit, but if you put Pramo in, the chances are you're going to knock it for 6. Now, this is my friend John T 2014 of EMRS Clan going out in the Scavenger. A couple of other things you need to know about this tank. It comes with two guns. It's got a not so big and not so derpy heat gun, and it's got a normal gun. And you'll see here, John T 2014 has taken the normal gun, which has better penetration, less damage, better aim time, 8 degrees of depression, and just shy of 4 seconds reload. Whereas the derpy but not so derpy gun has 11 seconds of reload, will dish out a lot more damage, but the aim time and everything else is a lot longer. In fact, the depression is only 6 degrees, which is pretty pants, as you can see here. I mean, this is the 8-degree depression. It's still not the best, but he's doing a good job. He's trying to hold down. The penetration values aren't exactly the best. The damage is only going to be knocking out about 160 if you manage to penetrate. And you should with the lower gun, because the penetration is a lot higher than the derpy, but not so derpy one. So don't expect anything spectacular with this tank. It's like having the fast reloading gun on the KV-1. You're going to dish out a fair amount of damage in quick succession, but you're not going to be knocking things for 6. And you've got pants gun depression, and not the best armor in the world, especially side or rear on. I mean, okay, it's quite good at the front, but you know, you need to really be hold down, and you need to make sure that you're not turning that turret away from the enemy, because if you turn the turret away, they will pen it. Simple as that. And okay, yeah, you've got the tracks that go all the way around, so you can side scrape it a little bit, but it's not really recommended. You're not really going to get much justice out of it, because your armor's not that thick, especially on the front. I mean, it looks thick, you will bounce a few things, but it's not that thick. I mean, look at this. I mean, he manages to pen this with straightforward AP. Not a problem. Straight into the cheeks of the turret. And the turret cheeks are quite well armoured. I mean, as you saw from the armour profile, the front of the turret and the front glacier plate are the most heavily armoured on this tank. But let's not kid ourselves here. I mean, it's a medium tank. Medium tanks are notoriously light armoured because they need the speed and mobility. And it does have speed and mobility. You're going to get about top speed of 50 out of it. It's got a good aim time. And it's pretty accurate. And it's got a good reload. It's a true medium tank, and you have to play it like a medium tank. It may look like a heavy, it may look like it's well armored. It's not. It is wide, however. It's a bit of a fat boy, and that presents quite a big target to the enemy, and it really does. I mean, you know, it's not going to be difficult to hit this thing, but it is squat. I mean, look how low that thing is. I mean, you can stick it behind certain things, and it is a little squat, fat bug. In fact, there's so many of them at the moment, it's like a plague of cockroaches have invaded Blitz. But look, guys, this is a free tank, effectively. I mean, Wargaming have given us something for nothing. All you had to do was win 50 games. This is why there's so many of them out there. Now, a lot of people hate this tank, maybe because there's so many of them out there at the moment, but generally because they just don't like it. They're disappointed in it, and I think it's got a bad rap. It's not as disappointing as you think. It's a true medium, and you need to play it like a true medium, even though it may not look like one. You've got to play it like a medium, and like most mediums, you've got to be careful. You can't expose yourselves. It's got lots of vulnerabilities like all mediums, but you can play this tank and have fun, and you can do well in it. You really can. I mean, John T 2014 here got a nice mastery. He did 1,269 damage. He wasn't the top tank. Don't forget, this was a tier 5-6 game. So you can do well in it. And like all tanks, it's got vulnerabilities. But you've got to play this tank to its strengths, and you've got to understand its vulnerabilities. That's why it's misunderstood. People look at this tank and think, wow, it's got good armor. It's wide, it's squat, and it looks chunky. It's not. And it hasn't got the greatest turn of speed for a medium, but it's got a good turn of speed. But it's not going to sit there and hit point trade. Of course it's not. The armor's not that strong. It's really quite weak. I mean, look at this profile here, the Scavenger. I can see most of it. He's not all red. I can see the parts I can pen. And you can see he's trying to side scrape. It's no good because I can pen most of him. He bounced me because I'm hauled down and he's just got that narrow window on the turret, which is quite strong. But don't sit there thinking that that's going to save you. It's not. The armor, I can't emphasize this the most, the armor on this thing is not that great. Almost everything will pen you. Literally everything will pen you. So you have to play it wisely and sensibly. Now, you know, look at this. Side on is just, I can just pen everything in this Scavenger. He's just a big open target. And that's one of its downsides, as I said. The armor isn't great. Now I'm trying to stay into cover here, but because my gun depression is pants, I'm trying to get a little bit more over the side. You know, it's accurate, don't get me wrong. And it will dish out 160 damage if you get the right shot. But armor-wise, you're not good. Things are going to hit you, and you know, I'm doing a hit point trade here, which you should not do in this tank. It's dangerous, guys. Hit point trading, you will generally lose because you're not dishing out vast amounts of damage at, you know, colossal rates. Okay, you're dishing out top alpha of 160 every almost 4 seconds, but he's dishing out 190 and he's in a Churchill. He's going to hurt me a lot more than I'm going to hurt him, which is obvious here. And you know, this is the problem with this tank, understanding its armor. The gun is pretty straightforward. It'll do what you need it to do. It'll point, it'll shoot, it will hurt, it will pen most things. You're not going to get many bounces. It's got 110 pen. It's going to pen most things at this tier, but everything's going to pen you. You cannot think that this is a frontline tank. It's not, because if you take it onto the front line too quickly and YOLO away, you're just going to be back in the garage wondering what on earth happened. And you know, that's just the nature of this tank. It's a true medium. It's got pants armor, relatively good speed, and quite a really good gun, but only if you stick the lower gun in. If you stick the big derpy, not so big derpy gun in, you're going to struggle, guys, to be fair, in my opinion. I mean, I've tried it with the big derpy, not so derpy gun. Okay, you dish a lot of damage, but by the time you've sorted out your reload, you're back in the garage, really, because you can't brawl in it. Not really. And okay, against some tanks you can because it sits so low, but most things are going to pen you, guys. And if they don't pen you, they're going to ram you. It's as simple as that. You know, be aware of its limitations, really. And those limitations are its armor. Now I'm in trouble here. I mean, I've got 55 hit points left. There's another Scavenger with almost full hit points. I'm in trouble. Simple as that. All I can do realistically is flush him out, hope that he wants to take the easy kill to allow my teammate in the Churchill, which is almost still on a full hit point, to be able to take this Scavenger out, which he should do pretty easily. I mean, look, you're going to pen it. I'm going to die. That was a straightforward one shot. I want the Churchill. He's been flushed out. He's now cornered. The Churchill should waste him pretty easily. It's as simple as that. On a hit point trade, the Scavenger's going to lose. And he does. Simple. And that's one of the ideas of the game, guys. The idea is to win. The idea is not always to survive or to get an ace, but it's to win. And the end of the game there, that's all we decided to do. I needed to win. And the easiest way to do that was to try and tempt him with me being the easy kill, flush him out, and get the Churchill to finish him off. And it kind of worked as a tactic. Now this is me on Desert Sands in the Scavenger. This is the last game. And this one's going to be a little bit different to the previous game. So I've decided to play this now as a true medium. I'm going to try and stay close to cover as much as possible and take pot shots. It's more like a peek and shoot, which is tending to work. Okay, I've been spotted, but nobody's really focused on me, which allows me to rain a bit of fire down onto this poor old Crusader. Now there's a VK3001D. I can get a good shot on him. Not too concerned about the Crusader. The Crusader's only going to knock me for 90, and we're doing okay. We're sort of, we've got decent cover. We're doing a fair hit point trade because the Crusader's not going to be able to knock me that far, and I'm going to be able to hit him a lot better, as you can see there. And he's finally gone. Now, we can see here from the mini-map that most of the reds are over at the C-cap. And we've got a couple round by us near the A-cap. Mainly this Panzer IV is in close proximity and the VK3001D. So I'm going to go up this hill and try to minimize my profile and see if I can range shots on the VK. Yes, I can. Easy kill. Now I've got the Panzer IV that I need to concentrate on. He's the next easy kill. He's not focused on me. He's got the derpy-ish gun, so he's got a really long reload. I can sit here on the side of this hill, close my profile down, and range shots into him. Which is what you're meant to do in this tank. You know, you need to be aware of your surroundings, like you do in most tanks. But because the armor's is rubbish on this, he could probably really damage me, but he's not focused on me. He wants the bigger kill, which is another VK, which is fine by me. This is supremacy. As you can see here, we're losing on cap points. Simple fact of life. Okay, they're 4 down. We've got more tanks on the field than they have, but we're losing on points. We need to narrow that gap. So we've got to cap out. We have no choice, guys. Now, many people think, oh, well, there's only 3 tanks left. Just wipe them out and you don't need to cap points. Well, now there's not 3 tanks left because he's got a fire. He's going to go. So I'm going to try and stay around cover again, shoot him, and back. I mean, I didn't back all the way back because I can see he's not focused on me. He's focused on the other VK, which, again, suits me down to the ground. If he keeps focusing on him, it allows me to get shots in. There's another tank gone. But we're still losing points. Now it's 3 against 2. And the 2 that are left is we've got a KV2 who is pretty dangerous, as we all know. And we've got another VK, which is also pretty dangerous. They've got relatively healthy hit points, but we've got more guns on the field than they have. So we're in a good position. It's 3 against 2. They are winning on points. We need to cap out, which somebody's just done. That should help us narrow the gap a little bit. And all of a sudden, boom, the 2 dangerous tanks pop right into my field of vision. And because I've got naff gun depression, I can't do anything on the VK, so I have to take a pop shot at the KV2, which I managed to get. And then I need to run away because I'm a 1-shot for the KV2. I'm a 2-shot for the VK. But I need to try and put some cover or some ground between me and that KV2 somehow. Now I can see in the minimap and in my field of vision that I've got a KV2 menacing coming down to try and help me out. The KV2 decides not to look at me. It allows me to focus one onto him. I'm mindful of the fact that, oh, I managed to get another one in. He's down to 12 hit points as he reloaded. No, but it doesn't matter. The other KV2's taking him out. I've got a VK36. Oh, it's all going to pot. The VK can hurt me. He's got better DPM than me. I can put some shots into him, but I'm now a 1-shot. He should be able to 1-shot me if he gets a good shot. And he does. And we go. But I know that I've got a KV2 menacing on my team behind me. He's now a 1-shot for the KV2. And we should be in a really good position. We've capped everything out. KV2 did his job. He's capped C and B. We should now win on points, even if the KV doesn't manage to get the VK. It's, you know, we're 30 points away. It looks like we should be in a good position. The KV's doing his job, and voila, we get a win. Okay, the KV misses the final kill, but all's good. It's a good win. And we get a mastery, because we did 2,462 damage. We got a shed load of medals because we were in the thick of the action from the word go, realistically, but not on the front line. We chose our targets and we stayed in cover and we played the tank like it should be played. And this is the thing about the Scavenger. It's in the name, guys. It's a scavenger. It's not something you want to put up there. It's meant to scavenge for these kills and these damage. And if you do it that way and you play it like a proper medium, and with the mind that it is really a scavenger, it's a bottom feeder. It's not there to be on the front line. It waits for everybody else to whittle things down before it goes in and makes the kill. You will have more fun. Don't play it like a TD. Don't camp in it. You will not do this tank any justice. Be respectful to the tank. Play it like you're scavenging. Take the kills that are easily presented to you, stay within easy reach of cover, support your team. That way you will get the most out of this tank and you will have oodles of fun in it. You really will. Just be aware, everything's going to pen you. You've got rubbish armor, but you've got a pretty decent gun. You're not going to be dishing out oodles of damage, but you're going to be dishing out damage and you're going to pen most things. Don't run around the battlefield in this thing, guys, like a mindless idiot. You will die. You will be back in the garage sooner than you think because everybody's going to hurt you. Scavenge. Seriously, scavenge. Get into the mindset. It's a bottom feeder. It's there to support and it's there to pick off the kills when they're weak. Only then will you get the most enjoyment out of this tank. I mean, like I said earlier, love it or loathe it. It's here to stay. Everybody's got one. So take it out. Have some fun in it. Play it like it's meant to be played. It's a different type of gameplay. I totally agree. But you'll have fun. And you may respect this tank a little bit more than what most people respect it now. Because to be fair, it doesn't have a good reputation at the moment. Maybe not because it's a rubbishy tank. It's not that rubbish. It's actually quite a good tank. It's probably got a bad reputation because, like I said, every man is dog is cat, and the cat's budgerigar has one of these tanks. And yes, I admit when I first got it and took it out, I was disappointed. But then I learned how to play it. I understood its weaknesses, and I understood its role on the battlefield. And boy, it's a lot more fun. You will enjoy it. And you know, who cares if it's a fantasy tank? Who cares if it's a free tank? Who cares if it's got rubbish armor? Okay, the purists probably don't like it because it is a fantasy tank. But hey, all tanks are tanks. And it's a game. And at the end of the day, the idea of the game is to try and get good at it, regardless of the tank. This is not a simulator. So I'm not the best player of the tanks, I agree. So I hope this has been slightly useful. May not be. But I think I've sort of understood how to play this tank now. It's not your usual gameplay. And I went out there and eventually had fun in it. And I enjoyed it. So give it a go. Don't write it off just yet. Don't be so annoyed with it just yet. Anyway, guys, I've been Fujit. I hope this has been useful. And yes, I appreciate I'm not the best player in Blitz. But I hope some of these tips are enlightening. And again, as I always say, I'd love to get your replays, guys. So please keep them rolling in to the usual email address, fujitsblitz@gmail.com. I will show them. It may not be the next day. It may be a few days, but I will get round to showing them because I think it's important that the people out there see how real players play. Until then, enjoy yourselves out there, guys. Have good fun and good luck on the battlefield. Hey, I've been Fujit and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments, tell me what can be improved and tell me what you'd like to see. I really love to know. Anyway, until the next time, guys, happy tanking.